situation could be managed.
Manage
You get
to the person who isn't feeling the situation.
But they know what.
You
they
know
what she's going through.
me?
We're not taught
This
that.
is not about morals. There will be a seat
for
which
her.
will not be good for her for a long flight.
Wait, hold on.
Hi loves, how you are doing? Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Clara, you can call me Nayah, and this is my mini world. Anyways, before we do or start whatever we are here to do, as you all can see, I have a beautiful baby here with me, and I would love for her to introduce herself to you all. Please, what's your name?
My name is Anita.
Is that all? Anita,
yeah,
Anita.
Okay.
Okay, so anywhere you see her, you can call her hi Anita and she will respond. Anyways, so it's been a while since I posted Let's Do the Rant. I know. And today I'm not here to rant alone. I'm here with the beautiful Annie.
Yeah, stressing.
I want them to know my friends are pretty. I
know, right?
Anyways, I'm here with the pretty Annie. So on today's episode of Let's Do the Rant, so guys, today our sister here will be doing us the honors by reading us the question. And I think the topic for today is, am I the a-hole for refusing to give up my first class seat for my pregnant sister-in-law? Is she?
Interesting.
Let's find out together.
Alright, so I'll be reading it out loud.
Alright.
So here goes the story. A few weeks ago, my husband, who is 35 years old, and I, 32, planned a vacation to Europe. We booked everything months in advance, including first class seats for the 10-hour flight. We don't fly often, but we had saved for this trip, and since I have chronic back issues, flying economy for that long would have been miserable.
Okay.
Enter my brother, 38, and his wife, 36, who is currently 6 months pregnant. So I think in this case, she was referring to the sister-in-law,
yeah,
which is the brother's wife. She's 36 years old, and she's currently 6 months pregnant.
Okay.
So they weren't originally supposed to come, but after hearing about the trip, they decided to book last-minute tickets to join them.
Okay.
Right? Cool, no problem. Except they could only afford economy seats. Again, not my issue. Fast forward to the day of the flight. As soon as we got to the gate, my sister-in-law started dropping hints about how uncomfortable she was going to be in the economy. Then just before boarding, my brother outright asked me if I would be willing to switch seats with my sister-in-law so she could rest and stretch out during the flight.
I was about to ask you a question, but you are not the right person for you to ask. I was going to ask if the brother is aware of her chronic back issues.
Yeah, I get it. So I'm actually continuing.
Okay.
I was honestly shocked and said, no, we paid for this seat months ago and I need it for my back. Sister-in-law looked upset and started saying she was going to be so cramped and that it wasn't fair since I wasn't pregnant. my brother then said, come on, it's just basic human decency. All right. At this point, my husband stepped in and said, if she's uncomfortable, you should have booked her a better seat. Right?
Husband to the rescue.
I know, right? And then he ended by saying, that's not our problem. We boarded while my brother and sister-in-law glared at us. So the lady continued, and they barely spoke to us during the entire trip. When we landed, I got a text from my mom saying I was selfish, in quotes, for not giving up my seat and that I should have prioritized family over comfort. She said I should have just sat with my husband in the economy, since he was already there.
Wait. The mother expected both her daughter and the husband, and not the daughter and the son. Okay, continue.
So, meaning, the lady's husband, I think he usually prefers economy because he sleeps easily on the flights. Okay. So I'm continuing.
Okay.
I told her if it was that important, she could reimburse me for my ticket. And I think he'll radio silence. Now my brother and sister-in-law are still angry, and my mom is making passive-aggressive comments about how I don't care about family.
Is that
for keeping the seat I paid for instead of giving it to my pregnant sister-in-law. So she wants to know whether she's an
a-hole
for keeping the seat she paid for
instead of giving it. So after reading everything, do you think she is the a-hole for not giving up her first class seat for her sister-in-law?
Nayah. Yes. This particular story, okay, it's actually controversial. You know me, I'll hardly say yes or no to something. I'm always in between. Yeah, which is
but today
not good.
You have to.
Seriously?
I'm glad that you just added that, which is not good. So you know it's not good. So today you're going to tell us where you stand.
Alright, maybe eventually I may end up picking a side. So She has a chronic
backache.
Mm-hmm. You know, I actually have a lot of questions I need to ask the lady.
Regarding you ask, we will make an assumption.
Okay. First of all, I think even this one she mentioned it that they couldn't afford it. I don't know whether I got that part.
Mm-hmm. I think it's she said they couldn't afford it. They told them they can't afford the first class, right? That's what. Okay, you continue.
Yeah. So I think she's indeed an a-hole. You said I should pick a side, so I have to. So I'm doing that right now. Yes, I'm saying that because it's even funny. Right now, the sister-in-law is pregnant, right? Okay, are you following? The sister-in-law, she's pregnant, okay, and then if we say someone is pregnant, we know their condition.
Yeah,
and
pregnancy comes in different style. Like you can't compare someone's pregnancy with the other. Yeah.
And right now, she's even 6 months. 6 months.
She knew before booking the
flight. So I think first of all, let me just go ahead and speak on both sides before I finally
you've already speaking a point.
No, you hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
I know. All right. So so I'm actually speaking on both sides.
All right.
The pregnant woman and then the husband. They knew they couldn't afford to get the what's it even called? The first class seat. Was the trip even necessary?
You see,
if they had not gone, what would have happened?
When you started by saying that you think she is the a-hole for not giving up her first class, I wanted you to land, and then I would chip in that I think she's not the a-hole because this is something that, according to her, she and her husband has been planning, meaning they've been saving for it. When someone says they've been planning for something, means they've been making preparation towards it, which tells us that they've been saving for the trip. And the fact that I'm telling you, my brother or my sister, that I am planning a trip with my wife, and you think you would wish to go for, does not mean you should just wake up one morning or one evening and so go and book a trip. Exactly.
So
I'm not done.
Okay.
When I told you that and you think you wanted to go, but you don't have enough money, I'm your sister. Instead of you coming to me that I should give up my seat for you, you could have also spoken with me in a way that to find out if I could rather support you in a way to buy first class seats for yourself or not. Do you get? If you can't do that for whatever reasons being it, you could have just added this on your bucket list. Then you and your wife saved for it at the right time. This is not as if that both the wife and the sister, or both the brother and the sister with their spouse, planned this before they getting pregnant. Prior this time, she was 6 months pregnant already when they went straight for the economy because they can't afford first class.
Exactly.
So you already know your condition that you are in, that you are pregnant, and you know you can't afford this. I know that we say like first time for everything, this. There are other places that you can afford. You can fly without long flights, short flights. That's exactly, you will feel good if you just wanted to. If your pregnancy cravings was that you should travel, you could have gone somewhere else.
Probably the cravings was actually that other particular.
Oh no, it can't be.
The baby wanted to go there.
According to the story, that's the baby would never want to go there. No, we sometimes lie on
like I mean, on a more serious note, like
even if it was a craving, the baby cannot tell you a specific place that you want to.
The baby can, you don't know how pregnancy can.
The baby cannot. So you could have gone somewhere else, but you chose to go exactly where.
Yeah, right.
So somehow,
that's actually my problem.
I don't want to conclude, but if you do this, then you are just being envious of your sister-in-law.
Yeah, right.
And you put the pressure on your husband, and your husband will be like, okay, all right, fine, let me talk to my sister. Maybe she would listen to me. And now that the sister did not listen to the brother, it has become a case. Why are you not listening to me?
Wait. I understand that.
Okay.
Like I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
It's true. It wasn't my fault. Both of them could have selected a different place.
Okay, you finish.
Or thought of going somewhere else. Or it wasn't even necessary. Like maybe I'm saying it's not necessary because I'm not an outing type, so I don't really see it to be anything important. That's one part. So on the part of the lady that shared the story. Okay. You understand that at least your sister-in-law and your brother couldn't afford it, right? Yes. So she could have sacrificed how long? She said how many hours?
10 hours. I've forgotten. 10 hours. 10-hour flight.
So You're talking about 2 lives here, Clara. 2 good lives.
And her lives too matter.
I know it matters, but then still.
It could even be 3
still.
lives. Still, I stand on my feet.
I don't know. That wasn't morally in
Oh,
society.
please.
We were not taught
This
that.
is
We were
not about
taught that
morals. Nah. In society, we were taught that when you are seated in a car and a pregnant woman comes,
Yeah,
and
get
you don't
that
have to
let
get
us
up. This is not a car.
And
And
this is not a car.
and this is not a shuttle. That's what someone will be seated and someone will be standing.
Okay.
You paid
She
for
wasn't
this.
asking her to stand. She could have still sat.
No.
Well, I've actually never boarded or
The
I've not
first
taken a
one,
flight before,
when
so I
you-
don't
when
really know.
you watch videos, you can't even sleep.
Oh, but
You
she mentioned that the husband enjoys sleeping in the economic seats. She mentioned that. Go back to that and see. Go back to the
Flying
second one.
economy
No.
for the here is it. You said 5 hours, 10-hour flight. We don't fly often, but we had saved up for this trip. We had saved.
Whoa, that wasn't my point. Go back
Wait,
to the other one.
wait. I've just started because I'm just getting the point from my point.
Oh, fine. You
We've
hold on.
saved
Go
for
back
it.
to go back to the point I was trying
We
to
saved
raise.
for a 10-hour flight. We don't fly often, but we had to save for this trip. And since I have chronic back issues, flying economy for that long would have been measurable. Okay. When
Just
we
go back to
landed,
this.
that's where I am now.
No. Here. So she mentioned here that
That's the mother talking. Quoted.
No.
She said I should have just sat with my husband in economy.
I wasn't talking
Since
about
he was already there, he prefers
into
economy
bracket, it
because
means she was trying to let us know that the husband prefers economy because he sleeps easily on flights.
on flights.
Which
Listen,
meaning
Mhm.
even in the economy seats, you
he
can sleep more
That's
comfortably.
the husband. What about the wife?
The wife too can also sleep comfortably.
Definitely
She
said
can
she
sleep
saved for
comfortably.
the trip.
No,
because of him.
I'm not saying absolutely that.
No, 10
Clara,
hours flight.
Clara,
And it's so
hold on.
easy. Even when you are sitting in a VIP to
I know,
Accra,
I get
and
what
6
you're
hours, and then
But it's just more like sacrificing for your
she wasn't ready, and you can't just tell her to do it.
She was supposed to sacrifice for either her
It's just very
her nephew
it's
that
just
will
very
come
dumb
in.
of them to
But the thing
ask
is,
straight
see,
for it.
Clara,
Listen,
they had already
listen.
booked the flight.
Exactly. And listen, you the brother, you know of your sisters. Let's assume you know of your sisters chronic whatever issues with it.
Nothing
You
is even
would have
true that
told
she really has.
your sister to speak to her husband on your wife's behalf. You don't just tell them point blank that they should sacrifice their seats for you. So you're thinking of your wife
And
and the
this
child,
one
not
thing,
about your wife and your
this
sister.
one thing we should also consider whenever we are making judgments on
Yes,
something.
okay, ma.
We should hear the other side of the story too.
Mhm.
We just heard this lady
Exactly,
side
and
of the
this is
story.
what we are basing on to tell her.
Mhm.
This is her side of the story, and
Okay.
she is asking us that
Whether she's
based on her side of the
Well,
story,
then,
she and
me, I prefer hearing both sides because I don't judge.
you
like
can't do
Clara,
that here on
like-
Reddit. You
No,
can't
no, I
do
think
that
you
here
ask your
because
fans.
they barely
You can
use their
ask-
own names. Check, you go back, whatever. They barely even use their real names there. You
So,
cannot do
it's
that
so
on Reddit.
serious, right?
Yes.
Oh, but like I said earlier,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't take any stance, but he said I should.
I-
So I
am
explained both
taking a
sides
stand. I
for
get your
you,
point.
but
You
eventually,
are trying to- You
I
are
took-
trying to tell us
Mhm.
where the sister-in-law
Mhm.
is at fault and
Yes.
where what
The
the
lady
lady
herself.
could have sacrificed because she's not at fault
Exactly.
in any ways.
So you still
You-
don't think
oh,
she's
she's not at
even
fault.
morally?
She's not.
Looking at what we
She's
taught
not.
in
Do
society.
you remember the Bible?
Okay.
When I can't quote. I just know the stories. When
Just to us into
when they were some women or something, they were traveling, and then some ladies or a lady left a kerosene or something, and then she went to borrow from someone in the ship, and then she told her no, she can't do that. She should go and buy some, or she should have taken some. I will look for.
So it's at the book of Matthew 25, and it has 3 stories there, different stories. But this particular one I was talking about is from verse 1 to 13, and even just that verse or that particular story from verse 1 to 13 tells us more than what I was trying to say here. It's deeper than what I am trying to say here, because clearly here I'm just trying to prove a point, and as compared to what's in the Bible, I'm not entirely wrong. In fact, I'm not wrong, because the Bible actually even referred to the 5 women that left or did not bring an extra oil as foolish. I'm not trying to refer to the sister-in-law here as foolish, no. But yeah, and clearly, if you know, you know. I was also just trying to irritate Anita somehow. She doesn't really like her talking a lot. So yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of the video.
Kindly read on the screen. You will see the quotation, then you go and check there. Even in the Bible, you catch it someone here. Obi code Bible.
We are talking about. We are talking about.
Sometimes
We are talking.
the reason why I'm quoting,
no.
Let me also learn. The reason why we are not talking about the Bible, fine, we are talking about this, but you bring it basing your
Moral.
point on morals. I'm trying to tell you that you even said even in the Bible, So I'm trying to tell you that even the Bible Corona is teaching us
Was the
that
lady pregnant?
sometimes when
If
you
you're,
are
if you're
doing
comparing situations, you need to compare them vividly.
No,
Make sure they are
no.
all equal. Are they even similar?
they are not.
See,
But
Nayah,
no, the story in the Bible.
see.
Listen, no,
Relax.
no, I won't relax. I can't relax. I can't let
I
you.
want to get-
I can't
I'm
let you
not- I'm not-
confuse my
relax,
babies.
Relax.
I'm relaxed.
Clara, I understand your points. Like I
No,
said
you
from
don't.
the
You
beginning.
just
I
said-
know. I mentioned that from
No,
the
no,
beginning.
the Bible part you just told me was the lady pregnant. But
No,
what the
you
Bible
forget,
actually-
let's forget about that.
The
Let's
story,
forget-
no,
let's
I can't
forget-
forget. I can't forget. I have to make my people know that sometimes
Can
if
it-
you are
guys,
doing a
let's
certain
get this
favor,
straight.
it has to. Sometimes if you are doing a certain favors or if you are doing a certain good, and you know that in a long run or even in a short run, you are going to die for it. The Bible doesn't teach you to do that, especially intentional ones.
Oh no,
The Bible
Clara,
doesn't teach you to do
Clara.
that.
She
Read the
wasn't
Bible
asking
well.
her to offer her seat to her and then she will stand throughout the time. No.
This
There
is
was
not
still
about that. There will be
a
a
seat
seat
for
which
her.
will not be good for her for a long flight.
Wait, hold on. You take it to person.
Oh, I know. I'm always taking
I want you
things
to
as
relax.
and I'm ranting.
Just relax.
Just relax.
Yes. I just wanted to reason with him before we end this
Anyways,
video.
the Bible thing I was talking about, again, I'm going to insert it. Don't just take my words literally. But I know for sure that in the Bible, there is a situation like that here.
Okay. Clara,
Yes, ma'am.
I get your point.
Mhm.
And I mean your point.
Mhm.
Like I said from
You
the
get
beginning.
my point. The
Yes,
person
I
you are
wanted to get
refusing-
mine
I get your point.
too. So
I genuinely get your point. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
That the point that you are making,
Mhm.
what you are refusing to get from the point, is that you are basing on sacrifice
Okay.
and forgetting about the fact that the fact that her main focus or reason for saving up for first class in the first place was for her own comfort.
Okay. It was
She
for a
could
comfort.
have booked an economy if it was a short flight. But
No,
in
wait,
the
wait,
situation
wait.
was a
I think
10-hour
wait.
flight.
I think from what we read earlier, she was like they used to take. I don't know if
For short
they used
flights.
to take the economy.
Listen, 10-hour flights, including first class seats for the
No,
10-hour
relax.
seated.
No, that wasn't what.
No, that's
You just
what
read
I am
out.
saying.
Relax.
Okay, you see, a few weeks ago, my husband and I planned a vacation to Europe.
Mhm.
We booked everything months in advance, including first class seats for the 10-hour flight. We don't fly often, but we had saved up for this trip. And since I have chronic back issues, flying economy for that long would have been miserable. These are the points that you are refusing to get.
No, Clara,
Because
wait. I told you. I mentioned that she was right from the beginning, but I'm also saying that she also see it from this angle.
That's what.
She could have at least sacrificed. What would have happened to her within
She
the 10
doesn't
hours?
want to sacrifice. Some people have just a that one. No, bone, fish, this thing. I don't know if it's called bone. I will be. I'm a quiet surgery by one baby. I will be. I'm a quiet surgery by a channel. Anything can happen. This is her life.
So. Okay, so it's her life. Well, okay. Clara, I think maybe.
You know, I watch a lot.
But you know me.
I watch. Okay, not a lot. I've watched quite few YouTubers being pregnant, flying economy.
I just wanted to
And the fact
understand
that
this a little.
I understand you.
Okay, fine.
But
fine.
my
Then I
point
get
is,
the difference.
sweetheart,
The difference is, see, Clara, hold on.
Mm.
If I were to be the one, I
You
would have
would have
given. So I think it
sacrificed.
depends on individual.
And
It's also individual differences.
knowing myself,
Mhm.
if I could have, I was the lady.
Mhm.
Probability,
You wouldn't have done that.
probability for me even sacrificing based on the situation is
Mhm.
even very high. But I wouldn't have sacrificed because here they were not planning for any trip.
Okay.
They only wanted to go for the trip because I told my
You let
brother
me
that
forget
this-
about the trip because
It's
they had
not part.
already they had already booked their flights
We
and
can't
already. So
forget
we
about
should-
the trip
we
because, listen,
have to forget
we
about
can't
it because
forget
right
about
now
the trip.
we need to focus on the main issue. Let's
Which
forget
is-
about the past. Which is she not being comfortable with it because of her. There's and not
Which
only
comes
because of
with
that.
the flights.
They couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford. We're talking about affordability right now. They didn't
You
have the
know
means.
all this and you know your situation. Don't put yourself in a situation.
Clara, I said, see, Clara.
Peer pressure.
See,
this though.
no,
Now,
this
peer
is
pressure
not
this.
even, I understand that part. But certain things, we need to take them.
This is peer pressure.
This
Believe
is
it or not. This is peer
You
pressure.
see, when I started, I was like, it wasn't even necessary in the first place. I
Exactly.
mentioned that. But
Exactly.
here is the case. It has already happened.
Mhm.
You see.
And-
That's why
and-
this is
and-
one thing I believe in.
And
Wait,
even,
let
you're
me put-
even leaving some part out. So
let me put this one thing I always believe in. When something happens, I focus on the results, not what even caused it. Because you can be reverse.
Change.
You can go back. Do you understand? So now let's focus on finding a solution for that problem.
So right now, she has given her seat to the sister-in-law for her comfort and her husband, which is her brother. What about her and her back issues, please? I want to know.
Well, I believe she'll be able to cope.
That's what you believe. What about her knowing herself and how maybe she knows
She
that
knowing her. But,
she knows that maybe even 2 hours she suffers.
Clara,
She knows that maybe
there is
even
one
3
thing.
hours she
And
suffers.
how sure are we that the lady wasn't just exaggerating the thing, because everyone around you feels that issue could have been managed. Even the mom, your mother that gave birth to you.
No,
feels
that
you
should
could
also
manage
tell you how
or
much
could-
the mom could be an a-hole.
It thinks
Don't
so.
you know some mothers?
Well, but from the way she
please.
portrayed,
Even if
from the way she portrayed her mom, I'm not sure.
Annie, because she's paying. Even if she is,
Meaning she's paying, because it's even surprising. I'm
She-
sure this
no,
is the
no,
mother's
it's-
first time
it's-
doing
it
this,
can't
and it's
be.
surprising her.
No.
And she's probably doing it because
Even
she
if-
knows the situation.
No
she
matter
knows
what,
she could manage. Do you
no
get
matter
it?
what, no matter what,
I'm sorry.
even if it's the that's because we've turned off the fan. Even if it's the mother's first time,
Okay.
she has no right to be calling her daughter out that way, giving up, or mention whatever words at throwing indirect or direct punches at her every now and then. Even that is wrong. Some mothers too are weird, and you telling it's nothing.
And I'm not saying anyway. I
No, the
mentioned.
mother.
Oh, okay. I thought so at
It's
first.
nothing. And
So
the reason
they
why
should even
I'm
tell
even
you
taking
that.
no,
No,
the
guys,
reason-
they should tell you
I
that.
need to stop that
Wait,
thing.
they should tell you
Hey,
that.
it's
Her
not-
situation.
it's
I'm
nothing
not
that she
there.
could manage.
It could
Listen,
mean. It could probably
don't
mean
you-
that the
don't you
situation
know-
could be managed.
manageable
You get
to
it?
the person who isn't feeling the situation.
But they know what.
You
they
know
know what
saying,
she's
are
going
you
through.
mean?
Even the husband. Why didn't the husband even say anything?
The husband defended her last.
She
That's
defended-
when you
but she
said
didn't. You know the
something
husband
like,
didn't mention. So do you know,
Because it's
this is even another
it's
part.
not-
Clara, see, the husband didn't even mention that when he was trying
Mhm.
to, he didn't mention that
Mhm.
and the wife is sick or whatever. He didn't even mention that. Look at the points he raised. Just go
was-
back and look at the points he raised.
I
He didn't
understand the part
He
that the
didn't
husband
mention
is
the
just
part that
supporting
the
the
wife won't be able to.
Mhm.
So she stays with the husband, right? So the husband knows the condition. The mom should also probably know the condition.
No,
so
listen, that part maybe I won't agree. I tell you I have headache, always telling you I have a headache, and then because I always tell you I have headache, but when you ask me to go and fetch water, I do it.
So
So
she's trying to
you think I can manage it? What if every time when I do the fetching of water, I go somewhere and wail? I hide it from you people because I don't want you to know the kind of pain I go
washing
through.
is her fault. That's what they're
Exactly.
insulting her right now.
So don't tell me that even the mother thinks she could manage. Is it
But
is it the mother's
caused
pain?
it. No,
is it the mother's pain?
If all
No,
this
even if she has caused it, she has entertained it during the time that she thought she should tolerate it, and now she feels like no, she can't tolerate it anymore.
Well, me, I still think she could have done better.
I think she could. She shouldn't have even done that. And
And
the mother
if I were to
should
be the one, if I were to be the one, I would
like,
have sacrificed.
that's
for
you.
the
I
person.
don't see
For
why
my
she should have done
sister-in-law,
that.
actually.
The husband said, I was sitting. I was no. At this point, my husband stepped in and said, if she's uncomfortable, you should have booked her a better seat.
You see,
That's not our problem.
You see.
We boarded while my brother and sister-in-law cleared at us. That's simple.
you
She
see.
just chipped in what she wanted.
So why didn't the husband even mention the fact that
Because she has already.
oh my
Listen.
wife's situation is getting very worse, or it's currently worse, so we
Let
won't
me
be
use
able
your
to.
own
But he
words
was
against you.
focused on what the fathers. Why didn't they get a better one, knowing very well that they can't even afford it?
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know they can't afford it. How come the wife knows?
No, that's.
How come the wife knows?
I'm also,
if they can afford
I'm also
it?
assuming like you are assuming that the mothers know that this one can manage blah blah blah.
But
I'm also
you
assuming,
think he doesn't know?
I'm also assuming he doesn't know
Okay.
because you did not tell him, and he is saying what he feels like he should say.
Okay.
So you were saying something. She has managed to let me forget what I wanted to do by using her own words against her. I wanted to use your own words against you when I
Look
read
for my
finish.
words. Look for my words. Look for my words. Oh, Clara, let's conclude this thing.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
concluding
No,
right
let's
now.
conclude it because
Okay, ma'am.
from the look of things, we'll end up ranting and then when anyway. You see, that was fine from the beginning. I told you I wasn't picking a
Side.
specific side.
Yeah.
You see, because I see wrongs from both sides. I see a lot of things going on. So me, I think both of them didn't do well. That's it.
Okay.
Hey,
I also
what was
think-
the question?
like you can tell from my aggressive way of defending this lady who thinks she is an a-hole, and because of that she is asking people on Reddit if she is an a-hole. I think she is not an a-hole, and I think the mother is rather doing too much, and like Anita is assuming that maybe the mother and the brother knows about the sister's situation, which perhaps they believe that she could have managed it, which I also think maybe at this point she has managed. She tired, she don't feel manage anymore.
Who told you?
That be why she beg.
Yeah,
you assume. Allow me
Exactly.
to assume, I
Someone's
assume.
real issue, real story. I hear using
She's
as
tired.
to just
She
to
tired.
justify.
I think the brother could have asked on a better way, in a proper manner, that her, even if it's me that I'm playing hard girl like this, and my brother came to me in a right manner that, please, sister, can you talk to your husband?
I think we need to address that. When in the story did she
They
mention
don't.
that?
Okay, so guys, the point that I was trying to make before Anita chipped in this, I forgot. I did not mention it. I was trying to talk about the fact that they told, according to the story, they told the sister, or they prompted the sister about switching seats or switching tickets on the spot. That's where I have a problem, or what I have a problem with. Even though the sister could have still sacrificed, but she knows the pain that she was going through, and considering the fact that she thought she can't endure the pain, I was trying to say the brother bringing the point to her on that spot is what I think is wrong. He could have done that earlier or days before the day.
Mention the manner, but she do mention the fact that the brother suggested that the sister fly with her husband in the economy, so that he will fly with the wife.
She
so
only
like
gave. So do you know how it started? We have no idea. I'm sure she probably was just concluding it. Yes, he came to her.
Anita, how it started?
You just concluded. I don't even know
how it ended.
No, but then put it well.
The manner that he would have gone there. So
do you know the manner in which he went there to tell her?
If he had asked the sister that she should only ask the husband to switch, she would have vividly stated that. I read stories on Reddit a lot. And they would have said, she said this, and I said no.
Clara, we are humans. Whenever we are narrating stories, we narrate it based on how we want our audience to listen to us.
I know. So, yes. But based on what I am reading right now, I think the brother could have done better. And even if he had asked her that maybe the sister should talk to the husband to sacrifice his seat for his wife, so that both women would fly first class and then both men would fly economy. Yes.
Wait.
That would have been better.
I just even got a point. Someone is suffering from a chronic back pain.
Even if it's mosquito that has been
like my point is that no. You're suffering from a chronic back pain.
No, I don't care about.
You're supposed to be in the hospital or be in a bed.
Some people
the fact that you can travel. The fact that you can travel.
And because I know I have,
means that it's not as severe.
I don't give a heck.
Portrayed.
I don't give a heck about what you think about what I think my problem is. I don't care.
You see,
I seriously
initially we're like, it means it was so serious, but you just realized that it's not even so serious that she couldn't manage for the sister-in-law.
If you are telling me that she should be on the hospital bed, what should the wife be doing?
The wife, she's pregnant doesn't mean she's a handicap.
Exactly. She should be saving that money for the baby.
Oh, who told you? Who told you
So they should fly the economy and leave this baby out. No, they should fly the economy.
But they should put the baby out.
No, not the baby. I mean the sister-in-law. I mean the sister. The baby we're talking about. Sorry.
See.
I'm seeing. No, listen. We have people that are sick. Let me use cancer for instance. We see this in movies. Maybe what we see in movies is not reality. Because they are afraid of what might happen next. They try to complete what they have on their bucket list. What if she is going through something that she feels like, no, I can't let this thing, like you're saying she should be on a hospital. She is like, no, I can't let this thing stop me from enjoying life. I want to exaggerate. Now it's too simple. I don't want this thing to stop me from having fun. I don't want this thing to stop me from going on this trip that I have dreamt of years. Because of that you are saying she should be on hospital then. She may have considered that, and because of that she saved. For me, that is a
how
point.
Did she even save though? Was she not working?
Exactly. So how did
she had the strength to still work.
And so because she wants exactly.
You're supposed to be like,
I love the way you are making points that I can really turn them against you. I really love that. You see, if as she claims that she has a chronic back disease and she is sacrificing it for her own enjoyment,
she can sacrifice it for her sister.
No, that's the point. How is it bad?
You can sacrifice.
I have broken my.
You could sacrifice.
I have broken my back, which is already broken.
See, even the Bible says, "Love your neighbor as yourself."
Exactly.
So
the pregnant sister too should love her as herself.
Love her as herself.
The pregnant sister, the points that they are making, is also based on assumption.
Okay.
She might have cramps. Has the cramps started? No.
Probably it has started.
No.
We are making assumptions.
We are making assumptions. Fine. It has started, so you can't go at all. I need to know. These are the things that we do, and then we end up killing our own self. I
get the point you're saying. I get.
You're being choked, and you're like, God will provide. No, I'm using different scenario. Hey. Is it because of the currency?
Yes, no. I know what's in the situation here. Take it out.
We are all human. months, and in me, I have feelings.
Interesting.
And I'm very emotional too. Very sensitive. You can tell, I believe you can tell based on the way I've taken these things so personal. I know you can tell how emotional I am.
Guys,
Right.
I think right now
You are tired.
I'm so exhausted.
She is so tired. So yes, if you are watching us right now and you know you are pregnant and you want to go on a trip that you can't afford, please don't go. Don't go and spoil a
Well,
relationship
yes,
that
you are not
you,
supposed
a
to.
relationship
Don't
that
go.
you have with your brother, your mother-in-law, your
Yeah, you
sister,
shouldn't go. As for
whoever
that,
you have, a
you
friend, even your friend, because some of you are so weird. Don't go. Don't start the situation in the first place. Don't do it.
However, if you're in a situation whereby you can
I wasn't
sacrifice
that
for
though.
someone, I want to add that before you conclude. If you're in a situation where you can sacrifice for someone, I would advocate for that. I will advise you to sacrifice for the person, provided it won't lead you to death. Okay. So, but if you can do it. But if you can't, too, fair enough.
What did you mean?
But she could. Don't worry.
What did you mean by you wanted to chip in before I did that?
Yes, and
I would have told them.
Are you sure?
I am sure. Oh, I would.
No,
I
but
would have told
you were
them
not interested in that part. You were not interested in that aspect. So I
No,
had to
when
check it
I
in
was
before you.
based on the arguments or the
Okay,
ranting
okay.
parts, yes, I wanted to stand. I want to, and I am standing with the lady.
Okay.
But if it happens that there is this situation that you can sacrifice, why not? But
You
if
should
you can sacrifice and then you refuse to sacrifice, and then in the long run, and maybe even on the trip, something happens to you, you will definitely feel guilty about it for a very long time, unless you are evil. But if you
Unless you're
can't
Satan's
afford,
daughter.
if you know the pain you are going through, if you know that the pain that you are going through, me sitting away or me watching you from afar will be like, I say, wait there, yes, you know, don't let my words make you do what you know will hurt you in the long run or even in the short run. Don't do that one. And brothers and sisters, that sense of entitlement, even mothers and fathers, why? That sense of entitlement, you people should dead it now. They should dead it like now. Because I'm your sister doesn't mean that you have the right to tell me what to do with my money, especially the one that you know very well that I'm breaking my back to get. Fine, if it's urgent, you can approach them, but don't feel entitled. Don't assume that because they are not doing anything with the money, the minute you need it, no means they are not doing anything with it. They may be doing something with it, but they just don't want to tell you about it. Okay, and if you want to travel, again, save. If you don't have money, just be like me. Sit your somewhere.
Be in your room.
Even when you turn off the
read
fan.
novels. Look at how we are even feeling hot today.
Stay in the room. Anyways, we are ending here, as you can all tell. I'm sure this particular video might be one of my longest video in a while, or first longest video ever.
Because she made it so. She didn't want to side with me. She didn't want to understand.
I can't just say
She didn't want us to reason together and then take both sides together and just put them together. She wasn't ready.
Never.
So we had
Especially
to take
when
sides.
I don't want someone to feel like they are an a-hole for doing what they thought
Oh, but
was
actually,
right.
I also don't think she's an a-hole.
No,
actually,
she
I
isn't
don't
at
think
all.
she is.
She isn't.
But then she could have sacrificed. That was what I meant. Yes,
Maybe
she's
she
not
could.
an a-hole. Me, that word I don't even want to mention. It hasn't gotten to that level. Like
Yeah,
that
maybe
stage.
she could
have.
maybe she couldn't have, so she's not.
Sacrificed.
Okay. Stay tuned for another video. Make sure you subscribe, you turn on the post notifications so that anytime I post a video, you'll be among the first to be notified. See you in another video. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.